Hi there, it's Tracy here from the Papercraft studio. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to show you how to make my artistic leaves autumn / fall card, whatever you call it, depending on where you are in the world. It's a little fun fold card here, but I just think it's so pretty. The papers I'm using, so most of this, all of this I think, is new product for September. Online exclusives. So these are the papers. They are called Gathering Together. As you can see, they've got a bit of gold in there and some plainer sides, but look at this, so pretty. Leaves, and this one, and then I've got, I'm missing one sheet there, but this one here, do I have the background of it? Let's have a look. So this time I'm using this piece here. It's so pretty. And then this one, what's it got on the back? Let's see. It's quite a plain piece there, so you could again use that kind of down the side, but it's so pretty. But like I say, we're using this one. Also what I'm using is, this is called Earthen Toned Metallic Speciality Designer Series paper. So isn't that gorgeous? So it's like kind of a coppery colour. So this is behind here, but it comes in 12 by 12 sheets. You get 3 sheets in a pack. Just gorgeous. What else is new here? Oh, the embossing folder. It's one of our giant ones here. Gathering Leaves. It's so cute. I'll show you this one because that's the way up it goes. And I've put it on the back of this little piece here, just for a little bit of autumnal detail. What else do we have? This has actually been out for a little while, but I love the way that this leaf stamps on top of this one, and the same here. And I like the little greetings as well. You know, in the UK we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, or well, I don't think many people do, but actually Celebrate Today can be for anyone. Hello, sweet friend. And then the last thing I'm using that's new, these little streaked dots. So they're just, it says the colour's brown. So I'm probably blinding you with that. Let's show you on here. But I thought they went really well. There are some Cajun Craze dots, but I have to say Cajun Craze isn't my favourite Stampin' Up colour normally, but in this, I love it. Oh, this is the other piece of paper here. See, it's got the little gold, so this is the piece that's going down here. Okay, let's put that away and I'll show you how to make this. And inside I've just got these layers so that obviously we can write a greeting on there. So you need a piece of crumb cake cardstock. This measures 4 1/8 by 9 inches. Let's try and do this in some sort of order. You need a piece of early espresso cardstock. This measures 5 1/4 inches by 3 7/8. And another piece of early espresso, which measures 3 1/4 by 3 7/8. These are all in inches. For the inside here, you need a piece of basic white that measures 3 5/8 by 3 1/4. The designer series paper that's going over this side. Let's show you this one again. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. This measures 3 inches that way by 3 5/8 that way. This gorgeous earthen tone metallic designer series paper. This measures 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. This piece that we're embossing here measures, gosh, there's lots of this. Let's see, I've lost it on my notes. 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. This other piece of designer series paper, this measures 1 5/8 by 3 5/8. And then you'll need a scrap to stamp your leaf on. Okay, that's a lot, isn't it? Gosh. Right, let's go. So let's stamp the leaf first. It is so beautiful how it comes out. Now, my Cajun Craze ink pad is super juicy. In fact, this is the first time I've opened it. Like I say, not my fave colour, but for this, it's perfect. So because it's so juicy, I'm actually going to push some of the ink, with a bone folder or whatever you got, down one end, because it's actually it works better for this stamp if it's not as juicy. So to clean this off, I'm just going to spray a bit of my Stampin' Mist onto a tissue and then just clean that off, because this is my bone folder that I do this with, which is why it looks like this. But so I've moved the ink a little bit. If yours isn't as juicy, if it's a bit more well used, then you won't need to do that. Just a little tip for you. Okay, so I'm going to use the more detailed stamp first in Cajun Craze. Ooh, it doesn't feel like it's sticking to the block very well. Ink that up and then stamp this on here. Oh, look at that. I mean, just gorgeous. And then in Pumpkin Pie, we're going to... Is this quite juicy as well? I've got a feeling it was. I might do the same. Yeah, it's one of my old ink pads here. My other one had kind of... sometimes with these orangey colours, they do go a little bit weird after a few years. And I'm not a massive orangey, browny, well, this kind of brown girl. I like pecan pie. So mine don't get used very often, which is why they're probably going a bit odd. So this one, I'm going to try not to get my head in. I might have to a little bit. Forgive me if I don't quite stamp this right, because I'm doing it on the camera, but you're lining it up on the gaps where it wasn't inked by the Cajun Craze. Just look. I mean, how gorgeous is that? Oh, love it. Okay, so let's just do these up, because I fear I'm going to get, yeah, in a little bit of a mess. Where's that tissue gone? I'm just going to take a little bit before I get too inky. Oh dear. I think that might be too late. Okay. Yeah, on my jeans, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to fussy cut this, and it's a shame it hasn't got dies, but it's not too bad to fussy cut. And I would say, you know, with our snips, they're super sharp. I'm actually going to leave a little bit of a border around. So I'm just moving the paper a bit, just get rid of bits, come back in. Again, just go around, move the paper. So I'm going to do this and I will be right back. Okay, so this is by no means perfect, but you know, leaves aren't, are they? I don't think. They're not super symmetrical, or, you know, they get blown around, they're fine. Okay, so that's my leaf cut. So let's show you some folds and things. So I'm just going to bring in my Simply Scored scoring tool. Ignore the little bit that's on there, that was for another project. So I'm going to score on the long side at 3.5 inches. I'm just going to move that along in case you're looking at that, but 3.5 inches there. That's that. So give it a fold and a little burnish, make sure it all lines up nicely there. I'm not going to use my inky bone folder, I'll use the other one. Look at that on my hands though. Oh, the joys of being a crafter, huh? Okay, so this one is going to sit in the back with a small border all the way around. So let's pop that in. I love early espresso. I said earlier I'm not a brown girl. I am early espresso. What I'm not very much is an orangey brown girl. Like I say, pecan would be my preference over Cajun, but for this, just perfect. And I love autumn. Did I say that already? Did I say that it's my favourite time? Oh, I think I might have said it in my little Christmas card video. These are my seasons coming up: autumn, winter, spring. Not a summer girl, as a lot of you will know. I'm just, you know, I have Irish genes, I have freckles. They don't love the sun, and it bothers me. So, right, this one is going to layer on the front like this. So that this is all designed to kind of line up and look. So the reason I did a whole piece at the back was I just wanted one of these pieces in between to look like this. Okay, so paper, decide which way up you'd like it. I'd like a little bit of that crushed curry showing, which again, it's unusual. I'm not really a yellow girl. but autumn colours all together, all good. Right, flip this over. So my ladies will get one or the other of these in their kits for class. Beautiful. Okay, and then the one on this end is just going to line up here so that you get the same kind of border. And again, so many of these papers work with this. You could do this design for Christmas or any time really. It's a really versatile card. Right, let's line that up there. But I like the contrast between the light and the busier paper here. Okay, did I put that on dimensionals? I did. Okay, so I'm going to run this one through the embossing, through the cutting emboss machine, you know what I mean, with this, so I will be right back. Okay, so I'm going to layer this on this beautiful bit here. Obviously, you could punch some, I don't know, little things out of here, cut some acorns or something with the dies, just so that you're not using up this whole piece. But just be careful if you do, because you don't want something to show behind there. But on this project, we're just, oh, before, I'm going to put some ribbon on. I didn't show you that. Where? Oh, here it is. This is gorgeous. This is called Irregular Weave Trim. And look at that. It's so pretty. Again, an online exclusive, I think I'm right in saying. So with this, you need 3 1/4 inches. It cuts really nicely. It's actually just polyester, I think it says on there. So a small piece, but I just wanted to feature it on here. I'll just stick this bit back on to keep it in place. Okay, nearly forgot this again. I think that's both of these videos I've done quite well and just saved myself. So this has a way of going up, the leaves on the embossing folder. And then I'm going to grab my glue dots. No, I'm not actually, because would that hold it? Maybe, but actually I think I might grab my tear and tape this time, because it's quite holy, isn't it? So we're going to wrap that round about there. So about, what's that, about 1/2 inch from the bottom. I'm just gonna, and you don't need to even peel the backing off of this. You just need a couple of bits. Flip it over so you've got some on each side. Again, I have to be a bit thrifty for my class because I have a lot of ladies coming. I've got about 70, and so I have to make these last over the classes that I'm doing this month. Okay, so that stuck that in place. Now we can glue it to the metallic, what's it called? Earthen to toned metallic designer series paper. You can peel those backings off if you want, but you don't need to. Yeah, I did stick this one on with glue. Just checking. So that will slide around a bit. Try not to get glue on the bit that will show a little bit of, I think that's a bit of tear and tape showing there. I'm going to tuck that under. Ooh, I don't want to see you. There, gone. Okay, pretty. So now we're going to stick this on with dimensionals, and you can have it, you know, further over this way if you want, but I'm going to do it pretty centrally on the card. So obviously you don't want any dimensionals to show under this bit. So let's pull a few off here. And so we're headed on this side. So I'm going to flip it over and go this side. And then I'm not going to go too far over it. It's a bit more than half, but I'm going to play it safe. And just take these off, the backings. I hope the light's all right. I'm filming at night. I find it best to do that because it's quiet. Quiet outside of my studio. Okay, so I'm going to put that about there. That's sweet. Right, leaf. You can kind of bend it up a bit, crumple it a little bit. And we're just going to stick it up here. So just popped a little bit of glue on the back. I didn't put it too far up because I've got it coming off the edge here. You can always put your sentiment on first if you'd rather, but I'm just going to stick that about there. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so for the sentiment, did I get out those pieces? Did I mention those pieces? I'm not sure I did. Basically, you need a piece of early espresso, which measures 5/8 by 3 and 1/8. And you need a piece of, which I'm looking for, basic white cardstock, which measures, these are kind of rough because we're going to diagonally cut them, but this one measures a 1/2 inch by 3 inches. Okay, so we're going to stamp in Cajun Craze, and it is a sentiment that comes with it, which I mentioned, which was celebrate today. So that's good for anything, isn't it, really? Birthday, anniversary, whatever you like. So I'm going to stamp that in the middle. I'm just going to bring it towards me because I can't see. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is just diagonally cut either end. So I want these to look pretty much the same angle. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to stick it onto this early espresso piece. I often use dies for sentiments, but you know, sometimes it's just nice not to have to die cut everything. So I've put that pretty much in the middle, and then I'm going to cut the same kind of, I'm going to leave the same kind of border at either end as I have top to bottom ish, about there. And that's a really nice way to yes, to do that. I'm not going to worry that this end looks a bit bigger. And then again, you could have this kind of stuck out there, but I wanted to see as much of this as I could, really. So I stuck that down flat, I think, because I've already raised that piece. So I'm just going to do it in this middle bit because I don't know how far I'm going over. Let's go there because I want to see a little bit here as well. It's so pretty. And then we're just going to finish this off with the little gems that I said about. Here they are. So streaked dots, and very autumnal. I'm going to put one of the big ones just down here somewhere, and then one of the smaller ones just in this little gap here. You can pop this up. You can stamp something else in the middle if you like. But there you have it, my Artistic Leaves autumn/fall card. I hope you've enjoyed making that. Take care. See you soon. Bye.